Hi everyone and welcome to my second recent collecting video. It's from twice as long time period as previous one, but same amount of games from beginning of March, The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. I have somewhat mixed feelings about this one. There are a lot of things that I like about it, but at the same time there's missing quite a lot of things that I have learned to expect from Zelda game, so that makes me not so huge fan of this entry in the series, but still it's a really nice game though. Even though for me at least it didn't feel so traditional Zelda game because of the open world and a lot of things missing, like dungeons and finding new tool in each dungeon and using that new tool to solve puzzles. So it felt a little weak on some parts. Next, Senran Kagura Peach Peach Splash, which I got as a new deluxe pack. Can't pronounce English today. And I made a video of it, so if you want to know what is inside that box, feel free to check that video. So it's a shooter game instead of beat 'em up, as Senran Kagura games usually are, which was the reason that I was a little afraid that I wouldn't like this game so much, because I'm not a huge fan of shooter games in general. But I guess it's because of quite generous aim assist and emphasis on the fast-paced movement system that made me like the game much more than I originally expected. So it's kind of a casual shooter with really nice feeling movement system. And as for Senran Kagura games, usually quite a lot of fan service scenes. And at the end of March, VIII Death or Kiss, which I also got as a limited edition. It's quite a usual visual novel with handful of different ending scenes and multiple paths that you can choose from. So there's a little bit of replay value to it if you want to see everything. One kind of weak point is that the story is clearly kind of like side project, so the story of this visual novel doesn't feel as interesting as the main story in the novels and in anime adaptation. On the same day was released Blue Reflection, which I also got as a premium box. It's a RPG from Gust, and it has a theme of magical girls, as you can probably guess from the cover art. I guess the closest comparison gameplay-wise would be Persona series, maybe. Do I dare to say that? shouldn't compare anything to Persona. But I say that because it has the school setting, a lot of long dialogue sections for the story progression. You spend a lot of time in the school building talking to other students, and you go to dungeons for the missions. So it has quite a lot of in common with Persona series, at least to the setting and story progression and such. The combat system is quite traditional JRPG, turn-based. There's different types of attacks and enemies have weaknesses and resistances and so on. You can cast heals, buffs and debuffs, so, and a couple more special actions which are unlocked through the story progression, so I'm not going to spoil them. It is a nice game, but maybe the combat could use a little bit more variety. It feels a little bit repetitive at times, but still I really enjoy this game. From April I don't have anything, but from May is VIII, Lacrimosa of Dana. So it was released on Vita about a year ago. I'm not hugely familiar with the series. I have only played a handful of different entries here and there, so I can't say how the game is from the long time fans point of view, but as a kind of outsider to the series, I really like it as an action RPG. At first it felt a little bit too easy, so it was a little boring, but I changed the higher difficulty and enemies started to hitting much harder, so you have to pay much more attention to the enemy movement and start dodging their attacks. And at that point the combat started to feel much more enjoyable, at least for me, when it wasn't too easy. Because at some point it felt like you can just keep repeating same attack over and over again and never get hit, but on higher difficulty that isn't the case anymore. And it also runs quite nicely, which is important for the action game, and it does a lot of things really great, like fully customizable key controls, which is kind of rare for console games. So yeah, I really like the game. And on the same day as that was Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2. I do like that they give you the option of just digitally upgrading the previous iteration to the new version, but I still prefer having a physical release of the latest entry in the series. So yeah, it's just a upgrade to the Revelator, but I still like to have a physical copy of it, especially since I enjoy the game so much. And next, another fighter game from beginning of June, Tekken 7. Okay, I quite heavily prefer 2D fighters over the 3D fighters, but Tekken seems to be a series series of 3D fighter games that I like to give a chance every now and then. And I haven't played this one yet at all, so can't say anything about it, but I really want to give it a chance at some point. And last game here, Card Wars Toki Okoete, or Future Past as it was localized here. So it's a tactical RPG from Kadokawa Games, much more traditional tactics game than their previous one, Natural Doctrine. In the sense that this reminds me of a lot of Final Fantasy Tactics and other similar tactics games. Same square grid based combat system, and also quite similar job system. In this one you choose 2 jobs for each character, primary and secondary, and also each character has their own character specific job as a 3rd one. So there's quite a lot of customizations for your party, which is probably the #1 reason why I like this game so much. And second reason is probably the characters. Pretty much all the playable characters, a lot of the boss enemies are based on old Japanese tales, folklore, mythology, etc. So there's a lot of interesting characters in the game. And actually, because I enjoy that game so much, let's have a little bit extra at the end here. I'm not sure if this was released here in the West, but I'm pretty sure this was in Japan. This game with every first print copy of the game. So if you bought the game on release day, you probably got this. I guess the fully colored and quite thick manual wasn't good enough. They wanted to give you even bigger guidebook, and I guess I should give a warning. This has some spoilers if you don't want to see any characters, enemies, jobs, gameplay, mechanics, weapons, etc. You probably don't want to see this, and if so, feel free to skip the rest of the video, and thanks for watching. But if you are interested in the book, let's take a look. Start with the prologue, some production note. I haven't translated this, so can't say what they are about. Character introductions and creator comments. Monsters, kind of like bosses, mainly boss monsters, and comment on those as well. And second half is the gameplay part, should I say. First there are gameplay tips for the first chapter of the game. Full list of jobs available in the game and some info on them, like requirements to unlock each and which weapons each job can use, and also the stat tiers for each job, because the stats of your character are based on the primary job they have, and level of course. And then there's list of all skills for each job and info on them, like for example if it's ranged skill, it lists the range of the attack. And targets, etc. And then there's the character specific jobs and their skills. So as you can see, there's huge amount of customization to be made for your party. I really like this game a lot. There's the weapons, shields, armors, accessories, pretty much all the equipment you can find. And on the last page, status icons, which I find quite handy, because in a lot of these similar games, when you see one icon during the combat, and there's always at least one icon that you can't recognize what is that icon supposed to mean. Here's a nice little list of each status icons, which you can see during the combat, so it's handy to just take a quick look what that icon does mean. But anyway, I guess that's everything for this video. So thanks for watching and bye!